Smartphones are effectively the ultimate spy tool. Back in the day, maybe even 10 years ago, if you wanted to surveil somebody or spy on somebody, you had to physically follow them or break into their house and plant a bug in their big old-fashioned phone or plant cameras. But these days, we seem to have voluntarily handed ourselves over to be spied on because we carry the most advanced spying device on the planet in our pocket. This thing, it contains all of our personal lives, our secrets, our emails, our credit card numbers. It's got a microphone, it's got a camera, it's got a GPS unit. So it's absolutely wonderful for tracking people. No technology is bulletproof, but the problem is that for the average user, they may not realize the insecurities of their phone. And to a large degree, they have betrayed us.
They're kind of beautiful, like these little devices that have so much power that is actually untapped. I don't think anything is secure, ever. There's so many possible ways, so many side channel attacks. I mean, for years, smartphones have been collecting all sorts of data about us that nobody knew. They're tracking us, they're tracking what we're doing. Is that good or bad? That's up to the person who's holding that device and whether they want that or not. The problem is a lot of people don't know that.
Mobile phones are the next frontier for hackers, and they present a very juicy target. They're not an easy target by any means. It's a lot easier to hack a laptop than it is to hack a phone, but certainly we've seen some pretty sophisticated hacks in recent years against phones.
A smartphone can jump onto any wireless network. And you're typically encouraged to jump onto wireless networks because you're often charged for your data plan. When you jump onto a network, you are forever bound to that network unless you delete it each time, which most people don't. Anywhere in the world you go, if someone can recreate that network, just the name, they don't need to know anything else. Just by creating that name, your phone will jump on, even if it's in your pocket, even if it's not open. The apps that are running in the background will start going over that network. So without you doing anything, your phone is now sending information through this potentially malicious network, and you don't even know.
It's effectively like you go to a party, you walk in, and you shout the name of every person you've ever met just in case they're there.
Now you're on my network. You're not actually at that coffee place. And once you're on my network, all of your traffic, everything that's going over the internet is now going through me. So I have the ability to monitor, I have the ability to change, adjust. No networks will be joined automatically. That's like the thing that I'm exploiting. It's always been known that you can modify content when the person's already on a network. I demonstrated that all of our mobile devices will automatically join a network just based off the name, even if it's not really that network, even if it doesn't have the same unique identifiers or characteristics. This is sort of a combination of probably 4 or 5 different attacks, all used together so that it's essentially seamless. I'm creating a network right now that your phone will automatically join. So if you go to a website, I can control what you see on the website. If you go to a bank, I can make your credentials go to me. I can change things on the fly. I'm injecting packets into the network that basically make your phone go through my computer. Once all of your traffic is going to my computer, I can now control that traffic.
So what's an example of that misinformation that you'd be feeding me on my cell phone?
What bank do you use?
What bank do I use?
Well, let's go to a bank. Maybe open like chase.com.
Oh, wow. Protected by Bitcoin.
Now, of course, this is fake. I could have made the page look exactly the same, and you wouldn't have noticed anything. Except when you entered your credentials and hit login, you would have just been logging into me. So when you should be on a site that you normally expect to be encrypted like a bank, because you were never redirected off, I now have full control. I can sniff everything you're doing, and this is essentially what we'd call a man-in-the-middle attack.
Terrifying. What else you got?
Okay, open up your browser. Go to vice.com. It should look pretty normal for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part.
Except for now there's an article about Sammy's drones on the homepage of vice.com.
On a site that you trust, that you go to, that nothing else looks out of place. Unless I didn't make it so obvious, you would have just read another article and believed whatever information it said.
It's so seamlessly inserted too.
Absolutely.
It's very subtle. You have to actually read every headline to realize. Yeah, and this doesn't affect the actual website.
The actual website. That's not actually there.
Right. It's
just your phone and anyone else who's close by.
I'm gonna log into CNN.
We'll see something that hopefully is not true at the very top. Some breaking news about a 9.5 magnitude earthquake in California, which I hope never happens. And really, this can be done with any content. I mean, this could be images, videos. I mean, things you watch on YouTube could be replaced. You could have every major site on the internet say, you know, find a bunker, you know, leave California immediately. The fact that this is still possible today and can be done in less than a minute, you can set up a network and start monitoring traffic. It blows my mind because you can do so much.
One of the things that was done recently to demonstrate that vulnerability is one of the security researchers created a drone that he was able to put out in the air that was advertising a number of these Wi-Fi signals and was able to scan for all the phones in the vicinity that were automatically connected to his drone, and in fact being able to intercept all the communications now because he was running a Wi-Fi hotspot that all these phones are connecting to.
In Glenn Wilkinson's Snoopy hack, we see how drones can act as moving Wi-Fi networks in order to steal data from unsuspecting phones.
To describe Snoopy in a sentence, it's a distributed tracking, data interception, and profiling framework. Any device that you can run Linux on that has the appropriate antennas and hardware, you can run Snoopy on that device. They detect mobile devices that people are carrying. And when they detect them, they send all the data they receive back to some central server. When your mobile phone is looking for networks, say Starbucks, it's possible for Snoopy to answer and say, yes, I am Starbucks, why don't you connect to me? And then your mobile phone will connect to the device, to my Snoopy device, and all your traffic will go through it, effectively see what you're browsing, see what you're searching for, what images you're looking at. So if I have a bunch of Snoopy drones, these just little Snoopy devices deployed over, say, the whole of London, I can then track people as they move through London based on that unique identifier of their phone. Now, there are online databases that allow you to map from the name of a network to GPS coordinates, to street address, to Google Street View photograph. So potentially, I can very quickly, as someone just walks past me, determine where they live and where they work, and all of that is completely passive. So I have no interaction with your device. These are just messages your device is shouting out. That specific attack dates back to 2004. It still hasn't been fixed, which is pretty worrying and a little bit silly. We've got our aerial Snoopy units that we're going to fly over a few parks. It's a small computer. It's essentially the same, very similar hardware to a laptop. It's got a SIM card, so it's got 3G data to upload the data. It's got a GPS antenna to get a GPS fix, so we know where the data was collected. And this one's got a very small wireless card here. It runs Snoopy with the detecting people's Wi-Fi, and it uploads that data to my server in real time from the device. The UAV carries this device. So Snoopy is essentially software, and it can run on different hardware platforms. So effectively, for all of the kit, so the flying machine, the Snoopy, the cameras, you're looking at probably around, I'd say, maybe £1,000, $1,500, somewhere around there. Let's have a look at the data that we managed to collect in the park. 290 different devices we observed while this guy was flying around. All those little blips, each one the device that we observed at the park today. This is the networks they've previously connected to in their existence, those little brown blips. So for example, over here, this Apple device is previously connected to Cubby Hall, West 2 Lobby, Virgin Media Wi-Fi, and these two devices are looking for the Marriott lobby. But what we can do is try to geolocate those. So let's fetch the locations of those networks. This BT Home Hub here, this geolocates to essentially two possible locations. There we go. So that could be our volunteer's home there. We see the full address here. You can run this tool to essentially capture credentials. And here, login.yahoo.com. So this device trying to log into Yahoo Mail. And we can fetch SSL strip data. And there we go. So we see a login and a password.
You can have the phone just be a launching point to use other technology around you. You can just cause havoc. Now that we have drones, some are controlled wirelessly, which can be hacked, and you can take over drones. Skyjack is basically a combination of software and hardware that I created to demonstrate some of the insecurities in drones. You can basically just use your phone to actually control the entire drone. There's no encryption on the network that you join, so you actually